Okay, so this is a re-recording of my Elite Dangerous Resources video. I'm going to be sharing a bunch of links in the description, but as far as the video itself, let's go over this. So these are resources you can use in Elite Dangerous to find things, trades, resources, commodities, where to buy ships, where to buy bits of ships. So let's do it. Here we go. So first one is Google. Everybody knows Google. You search for what you want, you find it. It's good. It's easy. This is Threads Elite Dangerous Trading Tool, elitetradingtool.co.uk. This is the base site. I like my favorite one here is probably the search function. You can use this to find commodities, station services, etc., etc., etc. Here, we're just going to do an example. Commodity, we're looking for a station that is selling. We're going to look for hydrogen fuel. Why not? And we're going to look near Seoul. All right, and I'm going to show you the reason why I like this more than other sites. If I'm within 50 light years of Seoul, I fly a big ship, so exclude outposts and surface ports. Surface ports, of course, are planetary bases. If you don't have horizons, you want to exclude that, or if you don't want to spend extra time flying there, exclude surface ports. Okay, and here we go. By default, it sorts by price. So the nearest location to Seoul where I can buy hydrogen fuel is this place. It's so they will sell it to you at a price of 112. That's not great actually. 66, that's better. Okay, well you can sort by different things. You can sort by price, supply, whatever, etc., etc. But the reason I like this site better than others is this little function. Next to every station name, they'll have this number, which is actually the distance between the jump-in point, the star, and the station itself. So if I'm trying to get this, I know here, 189 light seconds, that's not too bad of a trip. So if you see some in the thousands or even 10,000 or 11,000 or I think I saw one that was like 44,000. But yeah, if you look at that number, you can see right away if the station, even though it's only 41 light years away, is 150, 200,000 light years from the star, Earth light seconds from the star, you're going to be flying there for 10 minutes. Other cool things that Threads has are these find trades. Let's search near harm. Okay. I want to find trades within 30 light years of harm. We'll just say that's my FSD range. Max distance to station, 1,000 light seconds. This way I can filter out all the ones that would be like 45,000 light seconds to get to the station. We're flying a big ship, so we're going to exclude outposts. And since we're doing a trade, we want to exclude surface ports. When I say that, I mean we're going to be doing like, if you want to fly one system over, sell goods, and make profit. That's what this is. So here, your examples, the first one that came up, total profit, 1638. That is the total added profit from this, which is per unit. So every trip, I will sell, say I have 700 units. Well, I will sell 700 and make 690 credits per unit. Likewise, on the way back, I will buy the microcontrollers and sell them at Gunapa, and it will give me 948 per unit. And this is usually pretty accurate. Now these can alter and change and shift with the background sim or whatever they call it, where basically if there's a bunch of ships buying and selling, the supply and demand will change. These numbers will gradually shift over time. But what's important is that this is relatively, in my opinion, it's usually pretty accurate. Sometimes you'll find a dud if you do. That's not a big deal. You just make a little less credits. Check the next trade on the list. You might find something better. Usually Imperial slaves are your best bet if you can find a station that has them, because they usually have the highest profit margin because Imperial slaves have one of the highest costs in the game. So you'll buy Imperial slaves at like I don't know, the value 20,000 per unit, and then you go and sell them and you make 3,000 per slave sold. That's a ton of profit. Multiply by the number in your cargo hold and just do it over and over and over again. You make a lot of money. All right, that's Threads. Definitely one of my favorites. This is Rogge. It's rogge.co.uk. I'll link in the description, of course. But this one is where I usually go to find things like equipment. So say I'm looking for military grade composite for my cutter. Right here, I've clicked on it. There's only one type, so there's only one example. Where to buy it. So over here, where to buy it. It'll give you this link. I usually 109 Pisceum is one of my favorite systems because of Icing Dock, which has many upgrades available at a discount because it's in the Long Rui system. So you get a 15% discount. So here is a place where I can get it. I also use this for the ships function. Now this is not as useful as some other tools because it doesn't allow you to modify for engineer stuff. But you can use this if you wanted to see like what an A-ranked Imperial cutter with no mods would look like. You can change the different settings, etc., etc. The other useful thing here, where to buy ship. So if you're looking to buy the ship, go into the summary section, where to buy the ship. None near Pisceum. I found mine in the Harm system. So just a little tip, if you are looking for a cutter, Harm is a great system. It is in the Long Rui, I don't know, purview. So you get your discount there as well. So you get the ship at a 15% discount, which with a cutter, one of the most expensive ships in the game, that's a huge discount. And they also have many of the different A-grade upgrades you probably will want. My cutter costs around 700 million. And that's not including weapons and a couple of the upgrades that I already had on my Anaconda. All right. So next tool, we have the EDD Now I'm not going to go over this one. This is arguably probably one of the more useful tools out there, but every YouTuber under the sun seems to want to peddle this one, which great. You know, I use it sometimes for commodities, etc. And it has a lot of the same information that you'd find on Threads. You can also find ships and such, I believe here. But I already have the other tools before this even came out, and everybody's already covered it. Mini's covered it. Down Earth Astronomy's covered it. Obsidian Ant, I know, covered it in one of his recent videos. And I'll mention a few others in the description below. This is Inara. This is by far my favorite tool for the engineers. A lot of people use this as well. As you see, you have a list of all the engineers here. So you can see what they can do maximum. So this, like Elvira here, does grade 5 frame shift, which is great. So does Felicity. So if you're looking for like max rank engineer upgrades for any one of these, just go to this site. So let's do, for example, Todd McQuinn. And pro tip, bring what you'll need. If you want to know what you need, you can go to it. So say I was starting from ground zero here, and I wanted to upgrade my guns, my multi-cannons on my ship. So I would look at this site, I would go here, go to engineers, go to the one that does the best multi-cannons, the Blaster McQuinn. Go down, I want, let's see, I want overcharge weapon. So you can see, I clicked on the wrong one. So you could see like all the different upgrades. If there's another engineer that does it, it'll tell you what engineer allows it. It tells you what the maximum is. And you kind of you can go through the list. You can compare it to the materials you have in game. Like say I have a bunch of nickel, great, I can upgrade the first tier with 3 upgrades for that. And let's go down the list. What I usually recommend, and what I hear a lot of, Mini tells a lot, that he says lightweight mount's probably cheapest. So if you wanted to just upgrade all the way to level 5, phosphorus is a very common material. All these are common materials. It also tells the commodity, which no longer is really relevant because right now, with the most recent patch, I think 2.2 2.03 or something, there's no longer any commodity requirements at this time for engineer upgrades, which is nice. The other neat thing, so you can calculate all the way up. If you're trying to calculate for like rank 5, you'll probably want to bring materials for ranks 3 for 5, and then depending on the number of multi-cannons, extra materials for grades 3 and 4, and maybe even 5 in case you get some bad rolls. But each time you upgrade one, if you wanted to select these possible experimental effects, I'm kind of rambling now, but if you want to upgrade the experimental effects, all you have to do is select to get a favor from the engineer. So for instance, if I went corrosive shell, I would upgrade to rank 5 as it's showing me the stats. If I like the stats, I go take the assistance from him, get the corrosive shell, or the favor from him, get the corrosive shell on it. I would lose 2 ranks and put me back down to rank 3, and I would just use the rank 3 and 4 to get back up to 5. And you have to do it 3 times per rank to get to the next level. That's the easy way. You can also, there is a way if you get a ton of these micromaterials for rank 1, you can actually upgrade all the way up to, I believe, rank 4. It takes like 60 to 85 materials, but if you don't mind doing that, if you're having trouble finding the rarest stuff, it's a way. All right, so that's a nice rant. Next one, EDD Shipyard. This is one of my favorite sites. I just found this recently. But what you can do, you can create a build. So in this case, you're looking at my cutter as it was a few days ago before I got my better shield boosters. But you can see like all the different stats that you're getting. You can also adjust for different modifiers here. So right now I'm using efficient beam lasers. What would it look like with overcharged, right? And so it tells you roughly what the values would be. So you just adjust based on that. You go to the blues, and you can see kind of what the low end and high end would be. And of course it's not sliding for that one because it won't, but it will slide for this one. Here we go. And you can adjust and see like what the difference per second and DPS changes would be. You will move this to where it would be, etc., etc., etc. So you can see like what your modifications actually do. You can input the values and see what your ship will look like with all those. So that's a nice that's a nice thing. You can go up here. This little thing is your save button, and you can save it as a different loadout or the same loadout. If you save it as the same, it'll give you a message saying you want to save over your current save. Yes, if you wanted to change it. Cool. And I like looking here to see like this is like the modified shield value with all of the different shield boosters you have. I do 3 resistance augmented and 3 heavy duty shield boosters because that to me gives me the huge bonus that I like. It's good. All right, cool. Next one. This is a pristine metallic ring. It'll give you the location of pristine metallic rings near your system. I'm pretty sure this is also in EDD.io, but whatever. So this will show you the nearest one that was they're detected and recorded here. So if I wanted to look for like, let's try the harm system because I like harm. There we go. It'll tell you how many pristine metallic rings are available in that system. It'll tell you there's a station. It'll tell you the name of the system. Just search in the galaxy map. If you like it, it'll tell you how far it is from the system you're in. It's good. It's good stuff. So like probably this Wargus would probably be awesome because it's got a lot of rings. 13 is a huge number. I actually don't know what all these things mean, but maybe if you click it. Oh, cool. Somebody reported it. Cool. So you can see like things. All right. Anyway, next you got this, which is a giant Google Docs document that somebody shared on the Elite Dangerous forums that shows you a whole bunch of stuff. By default, it shows this engineers page, which is very similar to the Inara database, but this is all in Google Docs. If you like it better, that's fine. You can also do this to find some information on components, like here under the components section, it'll tell you, say I wanted to find CMM composite, right? Where do I get that? That doesn't tell me. Unfortunate. All right, but if I wanted to get compound shielding, right, line 26, component found in ships, frequently used by combat-oriented vessels, it'll be salvaged from signal sources and high security systems. All right, so that helps. Again, any of these, like where the locations are, it's not always easy to find them. This is the hints that were actually in game. They don't really tell you enough information a lot of times, like components found in ships frequently by haulage vessels. Well, great. Well, that doesn't really tell me that much because, where do I find haulage vessels? Well, there's a few tricks to that. That's something, of course, you'll have to look up. Haulage vessels, I usually find them in like, I don't know, outbreak systems and distribution centers or famine systems, or I don't know. There's a few tips. This is the next tool. It's the Wave Scanner, wavescanner.net. This is for surface prospecting. One of the very common resource finding things is the surface prospecting. What you need to do is you want to first go to your audio options in Elite Dangerous, and then go to audio. I just said that, and then go to Wave Scanner and turn the volume all the way up in that. So when you're driving around in your Wave Scanner here, you'll be able to detect things. It'll tell you this is what it looks like. So barnacle, you have this kind of pattern that shows up, and then the sound. This is the sound that you'll hear in game when you have a barnacle nearby. And you can do that with a lot of things. You can do that with cargo canister. So you see it's kind of higher on the thing. Gives a different sound. And these are all in-game sounds. So this is not something that you couldn't eventually figure out, but this is a nice resource for if you're having trouble finding a specific thing. Like outcrops will sometimes produce different things. Bronzite chrondites will produce different things than barnacles, or they'll produce different things than mesositerites. Yay. Okay. So yeah, those are good. Those are the tools. I use each one of these, as well as trying to use in-game tools, as well as a lot of YouTube tools. Why not share some YouTubers? Okay, well, I will put some YouTubers in the description, ones that I watch frequently, that provide good data. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day.